You are listening to the default audio track, which includes instructional narrative. To turn off the audio track, simply press the audio button on your DVD remote to listen to music. To turn off the music, press the audio button again to hear just the sounds of the ride.
But we really appreciate you being here. We appreciate Marcus's efforts here. Everybody, big hand for a shout out to Marcus. And for all of you getting up so early, I did want to make one really important announcement. Most of you will be watching 60 Minutes tonight, right? And have been following the news. Maybe not, but if you have, I hope you get my meaning here. But I am announcing today that I am not giving back my gold medal.
That's Connie Carpenter, 1984 gold medalist.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. In the track.
Connie is her name?
Connie.
Is that my bike clicking? Can you hear that?
No, that's the video.
Oh, okay.
It's just like being there. Welcome everybody to the Victory Ride. We're heading out we're in Boulder, Colorado. We'll wind along some trails here and ride with the group, hang out with Connie. And we're just going to soft pedal here in a nice easy gear. Get your heart rate monitors all set up, like I'm doing here also. I'm just not prepared. And while we're rolling along the trails in Boulder, let me introduce you to the dash display. Just as a refresher. Right now we're at a very easy pace, easy cadence. Heart rate is at 50% of max. You can see on the left-hand side of the screen, at the very top, you see a 48. Now we're below our fat loss zone, so there's no graphic. But as we start picking up the pace, you'll see the graph coming up underneath that. Directly below that, you'll see power at 0%, now at 23%. If you have a power monitor, this is a good way to help to regulate your efforts and how much pressure you're putting in through the pedals. It's a good indicator of where the hills are or where we're sprinting. We might be accelerating just to keep up with the group in front of us, or coasting in order to prevent hitting them. Directly to the right of that is our cadence, showing 79 RPM. It's our leg speed. So at 79, it's kind of a gentle strolling cadence, and at 0, we're just coasting. But what I like to do when it's showing 0 is just soft pedal through it.
This couldn't have been better timing.
And just keep a easy cadence instead of actually coasting your trainer. To the right of the cadence, you'll see 3 graphs. The top graph is our hill profile. The middle graph is our heart rate profile. So you can see that there's a little jump in heart rate coming up in a few minutes. And then beyond that, we have a few harder efforts and then some softer efforts.
I'm not complaining now.
And directly below that profile is our power graph, showing us where some of the higher power applications are. I'm cutting out, sorry. And you can kind of see traversing all three graphs are two white lines, and in between those two white lines is where we're located along those profiles. To the far right of the screen, we have our gear guide and resistance indicator. For those of you who are on a bike trainer, you can use the gear ratio, which is separated by the blue bar between your front and rear gears. See the little blue line in between the 3 and the 42. Everything above it is your rear cassette, and everything below it is your front. There's only two up front. A little ring, which is indicated by the 42, and a big ring, which is indicated by the 52. Below the 42 is a 1, and now a 2, which is our resistance value if you're on a spin bike. Use that just to add a little resistance, take a little resistance off to simulate the hills and simulate the efforts. So right now we should be at 55% of our max heart rate. Still just kind of taking it easy here along the beautiful trails in Boulder, Colorado. Well, we're riding along with somebody who actually I'm starting to build a friendship with. We've been doing so much work together. Her name is Stony Askew. Can't even get your name right. My best friend.
That's all right.
Stony is a fitness instructor, and she does metabolic testing and a whole bunch of other things, but I'll let her talk a little bit more about that. And her website is www.eskewfitness.com, and we'll have that on my website under the details for the video that you're watching, and you'll also see it pop up a few times in the video itself, so you don't have to go out and write it down.
Well, thanks, Paul, for having me.
You're welcome.
This is awesome to be riding with you and now Connie through Boulder. I'm really excited because I really don't ride the bike ever. I had to actually borrow Paul's bike to ride along with him. So I'm excited. This is such a great opportunity, great ride, and feel very blessed. So thank you.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Before we get into too many details, Stony, I'd like to kind of refresh our memories on heart rate zones and what they mean, and also kind of define where the percentage of max is on average in each of those zones. So we're going to talk a lot about heart rate zones and zone training, especially for the purpose of this video, which is basically calorie burning. And our discussion is going to emphasize more around actually fat burning. So basically what we'll have is a sub-aerobic zone, or a sub, I guess it's called sub-aerobic zone, which doesn't even really have its own zonal number, which is basically a zone that's below your fat burn zone. So like right now at 50% of max, we're in that sub-zone. Does that sound right to you, or would we technically be in zone 1 here at 50%?
We would be maybe even before zone 1.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Zone 1 typically starts at 60% of our max heart rate, and we, as a general rule of thumb, and I just love rules of thumb, but that's a joke, 60 to 69% of max is typically considered our zone 1, which is a fat burning zone. Between 70 to 79% of max It's typically considered our aerobic zone, and that's zone 2. Between 80 to 89% of max, we typically categorize that as zone 3, which is our anaerobic zone. And we transition into zone 4 at that higher levels, which is basically leading into the red zone, which is normally right around 92 to 100% of max. How's that sound?
Sounds good. It it varies a little bit for everybody, depending on a whole bunch of factors: age, genetics, how active they've been, how they're training in the past. So, but yeah, as a rule of thumb, definitely.
Awesome. Now our heart rate is coming up to close to 70% here, and let's just get that heart rate up a little bit because we got a little hill coming up here. So watch those gear changes, keeping that cadence up nice and high, right around 90 RPM. So Stoney, you specialize in metabolic testing, and you're also a weight loss coach. Can you tell me a little bit more about your company?
You got it. So growing up, I always had this passion to help people, and my main goal is just to help people live healthier and create healthy lifestyles. And when I was in high school and all throughout college, I struggled with my weight as well. So it just really developed into this passion of helping people achieve, their goal weight. And I've been a personal trainer for the last 10 years, helping people. I've helped hundreds of people lose weight, get in shape, feel better about themselves, change their life. I mean, it's really been incredible, to be with somebody when they go through all that stuff. And with the metabolism testing, I added that about 4 years ago. I was introduced to it and just really noticed that it's the science behind how your body's working. And it takes all the guesswork out of, eating calorie-wise, and then really dialing in, getting your exact personal numbers as far as, workouts and cardiovascular exercise is concerned.
Sorry to change the subject. We're picking up the effort here just a bit. We're at almost 80%, but that jumped on us really quick. I don't expect us to really dial that in or nail that down. That was a really quick effort or acceleration there. I'm right around 68%. So Stoney, some news, we're improvising here. You struggled with your weight?
I did, yes.
Tell me about that.
Let's see, back in high school, I just was kind of in the mindset of gotta achieve the perfect body and perfect, so I really got into calorie restriction diets, and I would lose weight, and then when of course I would eat normal again, I would gain it back. And of course then that created just a cycle of having to go on another diet to get back down to where I felt like I really looked and felt good. So it just created this constant, thinking about eating and dieting, and I tried everything from, low carb, low fat, all protein, you name it. Probably my heaviest was when I was actually doing the no fat diet and just consuming tons of carbs, a cappuccino and a bagel for breakfast. And I came home from college and I was like probably 20 pounds heavier. It's horrible. On a 5'4" frame, that shows up quite
pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So what'd you do to change those habits, and how'd you get to where you're at?
Well, over the years, I've, like I said, I've tried everything, done everything. I've even competed in figure competitions where you have to get your body fat extremely low, and we would just restrict and do everything we possibly could to get our body fat low. So after finishing my second competition and gaining 15 pounds, I think, in the first week.
Wow.
I was like, okay, there's got to be a way to just maintain, and not have to worry about every ounce of food I'm putting in my body. And, you hear those people say, oh gosh, I can eat whatever I want, and I don't even seem to gain a pound. And I'm thinking, here I even, eat an extra meal, and I'm feel like I can see it on the scale and in my clothes. So, when I was, I guess you could say I was just at the right time, had heard about, metabolism testing and kind of the science behind knowing how many calories your body personally needs. And then the trick is to learn to eat with your body, not against, what your body's trying to do, to create that permanent, long-lasting, I shouldn't say permanent, long-lasting weight loss. Now that's granted, you don't, develop the couch potato lifestyle or anything and eat all you want. But so over the last couple years, and the last year definitely, I've maintained my weight before, I think my junior year weight in high school. So I'm really excited about that, just because it's not a constant, oh my gosh, what am I eating, and starting the next diet Monday, So I found that just by working with your metabolism, speeding it up, you can actually have that long-lasting weight loss. And I have to say that pedaling and keeping up with and talking is total multitasking.
Come on, pedal faster.
Paul is amazing at multitasking. It's harder than it looks.
Now our heart rate is up to in the 70s, and we got these quick little rollers that just pop up so fast, get our heart rate up quickly, and then they're over, and then our heart rate comes down. So watch those changes and be aware that they're coming. So what we want to do is we're basically averaging, our heart rate is averaging through the entire ride about 69%, right about here where we're at now. But there's these constant quick changes, getting these little short intervals, getting our heart rate up, and then we bring it back down again. So right now we're at 64% at max, pedaling fairly easy at 80 RPM. So, Stoney, how long have you been a fitness trainer, and how long have you been doing what you're doing?
I have been a personal trainer for the last 10 years, and the metabolism testing for the last 4 years. And then we just started our new company, True Metabolism Testing, and so hopefully we'll be, at gyms all over the states doing the metabolism testing that I had taken Paul through.
Yeah, at the end of stage 3, there's a little room on that disc, so we've got a quick video showing the actual metabolism testing process, which I found to be pretty interesting, and it really helps you dial in your, where your different zone thresholds are, and lets you dial in how to improve those zones and lose weight or build muscle. It's pretty interesting. I'd encourage watching it. It's just a quick 5-minute demo, I guess, of the process. And so this is what you're specializing in now, is I guess the New Leaf system.
Correct.
Cool.
So the New Leaf, there's two, there's a couple of different companies that have the equipment available to test your metabolism. And New Leaf is a really great interactive online. You can get your workouts online, you can look at your nutrition. So it's just kind of the new age kind of feeling, where it's
weight
technology
loss meets the digital age.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Stoney and I had several opportunities to meet and talk about training and weight loss, and I think we found that I'm a little out of breath. I think we found that our training elements or our training regimens, goals, our philosophies are pretty compatible. And I want to basically bring out the distinctions that even though this video is designed to focus on burning overall calories with extended efforts and a variety of efforts in different zones, but with emphasis in the aerobic zone, and we keep our cadences higher. But the information that we're going to talk about in this narrative is really focused on weight loss and fat burning. So, Stoney, what is the difference between burning calories and burning fat? Oh, well, big effort here. Sorry.
Oh boy.
Pick it up. Nice big gear in the back. Sorry.
Whew.
Get that heart rate up to 80% here. We got a nice little climb. Okay, Zoni.
Right.
Now you can talk.
So, burning calories is awesome, period. And it doesn't matter how you do it, when you do it, but just, get the body moving. The one thing the body, can't handle is inactivity. So you definitely want to burn calories, which is why, I love your videos and how you connect with those people at home and give it great scenery. I just love this. This is great. But you want to make sure, especially if your goal is to lose weight, that you are taking that fuel from your body fat stores. And so there is just a difference between, burning sugar calories and burning fat calories. And it's all about your heart rate and, how much oxygen is available is going to determine, what fuel source you're using.
I think I'm picking up your heart rate monitor.
Uh-oh.
Pick it up.
I know. It's hard to...
Look at 80%. What are you at?
70. It's hard to do this and talk at the same time.
I know.
And keep your train of thought going. It's so funny how, everybody on this video seems to be talking like it's just right in the park.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, there's a real difference indoors and outdoors. Hey, let's hush up here. We were interviewing Connie. I want to mute this.
Yeah. Am I behind the camera now?
Yeah.
I was wondering if you wouldn't mind talking about, the ride and what you're trying to do for people who are watching. As many people as possible, I hope.
Now we're on the road to victory, and this is an event organized by Marcus Bergen, whose dad has PD. It is not organized by the foundation, but rather for the foundation.
I gotcha. So he's just helping out with the
community together,
right?
In support of the foundation. People with Parkinson's disease benefit from the foundation by the materials we produce to disseminate, as well as the victory summits.
Right.
We definitely appreciate Marcus's efforts, and we appreciate the community's effort to be here. There's a lot of people out on their bike today.
That was a good turnout.
Yeah.
So Marcus did a good job.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I picked this ride to film is I have a lot of clients who have Parkinson's, and who can't ride on the roads, but want to have the same experience.
Well, normally Davis would be here riding today, but he's got
How's he doing?
neck impingement.
Okay. Gravel.
A little bit of a nerve problem.
Wait, are you right next to
Marcus told me he was doing great.
Yeah. Yeah, now you have to. Well, you can read about it. Happiness of pursuit.
So for those of you who don't know, Connie Carpenter is a gold medalist, cycling Olympics. What now? Can you talk a little bit more about your accomplishments with respect to?
I'm the mother of Taylor Finney.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Who cares?
I'm mostly known for now, which is wonderful. We just had someone ask us if Taylor was more famous than we were, and we said, yeah, definitely.
Well, cycling is a little more mainstream now too. So.
Lenny, I'm not going to switch right here. Everybody's switching directions. Let's see what's happening here.
No.
I see what's happening here.
Well, everybody wants Taylor to be the next big thing, you know, and we're all rooting for him, but that's a lot of pressure, I was going to say, especially after this tour. How did he, do you know, well, today's the last stage of the tour, right?
That's fine.
You guys must be watching him like a hawk.
Yeah, we're very involved in his career, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Resistance coming down, kind of coasting, and back up.
Well, the last
See the
memory
next
I
little
have
hill there?
Of you, I was just back in the 80s, 85. I was just on a ride. I think it was on this road.
That's going to be our biggest spike
And I met
for
you
the
and
next hour.
Davis.
This little hill.
Woohoo!
You guys were just on a training ride. I was 17,
It's a true
18,
story.
and
Hopefully you're nice to you.
no, you dropped me on this road, I think.
They so dropped me. Okay, back up the hill. Add some resistance. Heart rate's up to 83% here. Come on. Oh, big ring up front. For me.
Ooh.
And you out there. 6 out of 10 on the resistance. Now a 7. The steep little hill. Building up the heart rate. 40% power. Should really be feeling the legs. Feet are really starting to push on those pedals. There's Connie behind us. 86%. Pick it up. Hill's we're almost to the top. You can see our left turn there. Keep going.
Ooh.
Come on, we got a camera on our bike. We got to look good here. All right. Drop down the resistance a bit. A little more hill left.
Gladly.
Big
Drop down.
crosswind from the left. Small ring up front. And we're coming over the top. Power's dropping. Gears lowering. And soft pedal. What'd you think?
That was good. Glad it's over.
It's not over.
Dang it.
Now one little climb is done. Now this is the easy disc. So all y'all, oh, I'm sorry, cut. So you guys can all send Stoney an email and say, get a bike.
And get his harder videos. Get with it.
Well, it's amazing how cross training, no matter how fit you are in one sport, another sport, you'll feel like you're,
The worst.
horribly out of shape. And
That's so true.
yeah.
Back to it too.
Little hill. They've got these little quick rollers. Just keep us pedaling. And then we're back down again. Nice easy cadence. Or fast cadence, but easy resistance. Okay. So I wanted to elaborate a little bit more on calories versus fat. Or, I'm sorry, some burning calories. Basically, it's a combination between burning fat and burning sugars and carbohydrates. And so what we want to do is we want to differentiate between focusing on fat versus focusing on other calories for weight loss, right?
Right.
And so how does the body fuel itself differently? And why does the body fuel itself differently when you're training in the fat burn zone versus higher efforts?
Well, I think the easiest way to explain that is when you first start out during cardiovascular exercise, what you're doing is you're starting out at a slower pace, maybe getting that warm up, and your body is able to take in a lot of oxygen. So oxygen is your aerobic exercise. So aerobic means oxygen is available. And when oxygen is available, that's when your body is able to tap in and start burning those body fat stores. So you need that oxygen, and as your heart rate starts getting higher and higher, as your intensity starts getting increased, which I need to pick it up in the zone 6.
We're just catching up.
Okay.
Not a big effort.
It looks downhill. But as your heart rate gets higher and higher, you start breathing out more carbon dioxide. Therefore, your breaths become a little bit shallower. And when that starts happening, your body needs that energy to fuel your muscles. And because it's not getting that oxygen like it was in the lower heart rates, it needs something quick. So it starts using your sugar. And then as you get your heart rate even higher to what's called your anaerobic threshold, so anaerobic meaning without oxygen, that's when your body switches over and you're only burning sugar. So that's kind of a simple way of explaining it. So,
well, your body is literally taking your sugar and converting it to a compound called ATP.
Yes.
Which is your muscles are drawing on the ATP. Now that is a super quick recharge. It's basically jump starting the car with another battery versus putting it on a slow charger overnight.
Yeah. Yep.
So it doesn't last long. I mean, you've got maybe a couple minutes or a minute maybe of ATP depending on your conditioning, and then you need to recharge those ATP reservoirs by riding at a slower pace where your body can start utilizing directly sugars in order to recharge the muscles. And we're rolling into our first rest stop.
Woohoo!
So this is where we stop and we grab some coffee and donuts.
I was just gonna say that, but not donuts.
Yeah, we're gonna soft pedal it in there, get the heart rate down, and use this opportunity yourself to get off the bike, stretch your legs. It's a good time to actually really stretch. Make sure you have plenty of water. See you after the break.
Parking bikes parked on this side, scoot on this side.